due date for my second child was September 3rd of 2011. In August, I was scheduled to be induced. As a diabetic, we're apparently not allowed to go into labor naturally, as in case there were complications, we would be in the place that we needed to be in order to get the care that we needed. August 21st, I was in the nesting stage. I was cleaning, I was cooking. I worked third shift at the time. I had cleaned my entire house. I was scheduled to work my 9th day out of 11, third shift. I had so much on my mind as far as giving birth. In just a few short days, I was actually scheduled for the induction on August 25th. I begged my doctor to let me go naturally because I wanted the whole experience of the water breaking and actually getting to the hospital, and that was just not an option for me. That night I was supposed to work on August 22nd. I had cleaned and I just felt so tired. I didn't think I would be able to get through another night of working. So unfortunately I had to call in. I stayed home and just slept, and for the last couple nights, 4 nights in a row, I had woken my husband up, Chris, to wake him up and say, oh, never mind, and then I'd have him go back to sleep. We got tired of this, and on August 22nd, I woke him up and I said, Chris, he woke up and I said, oh, never mind. So we went back. At this point, he was very upset, so he went and slept on the couch. He said, let me know if you really need something. So I woke up and I said, well, I think it's time. We really should get to the hospital. So I called my mom to stay with my second child, my daughter. And she came up, and I begged my husband to make me blueberry pancakes. I wanted those blueberry pancakes before I went to the hospital, and unfortunately he wouldn't make them for me. So I definitely wanted to take a shower. I got in the shower, and through contractions, once I got out of the shower, I begged him again for some blueberry pancakes, but he wouldn't allow it, so we got in the car and I went to the hospital. But first I did make him stop and get me some coffee. I did have coffee before I went into the hospital. We got to the hospital about 6:30 in the morning on August 22nd. I kept telling the nurse, I'm in labor, and at that time the hospital shift change usually about 7:30, so I knew that. And they were going through shift change, and she said the doctor will be in as soon as shift change is over. I was super excited. However, I was also scared at the same time. I didn't know what to expect, but every contraction that came and went, I felt the need to push. And with my second child, I knew exactly what that meant, so I kept telling the nurse that something was going to happen. I was admitted. I got into the hospital about 6:30 a.m. I kept telling the nurse I needed to be checked, and of course she kept telling me that the doctor would be in shortly. She did finally check me, and the next thing I knew, there were many people in my room, and they were wheeling me out of the room, taking me into labor and delivery. And they said that, well, we're going to have this baby, and we're going to have this baby right now. They said an epidural was not an option, so I was very terrified. I looked at my husband, and I said, I'm very, very scared. And he was with me the whole way. I didn't have a chance for anything. They no epidural, no anything. I was very excited, however, nervous at the same time. I would definitely do it all over again. It was the easiest I had gone through. Of course, my first pregnancy, I was in labor for 36 hours because I was induced. They usually say that induction takes longer and it's more, it's harder on you. So I gave birth at 7:30, so I got to the hospital about 6:30, so within an hour. So of course they were joking with me a lot at the hospital, saying that, oh, you're the girl who just comes in and has the baby and leaves. So it was a really exciting time for me.